Hello everybody and welcome. It's the Silly Goose here and I am back with a different kind of video today. Usually we do deck techs and things like that, but I want to go to a qualifier. I want to play Magic properly, professionally. I say properly, but professionally, maybe not professionally either, but I just want to play Magic at a tournament. And I don't know what deck to use, but I have some options. And I will show you those decks in a bit. I want to explain as to why and how I can qualify, really. Um, the why is fairly simple. I mean, I've been playing Magic for nearly 10 years now, and I just want to test myself. I have always, like most other MTG players, loved the deck building puzzle and process, as you can see by my 86 out of 100 decks here. Um, and what better way to see if my deck building is any good than by going to a tournament? um, and I understand that it may be a difficult process, and that's why I intend to record every single step of the journey. Um, and that way, it gives me something to do. It means that you guys can see me hopefully succeed, but try again if not. And we, it will be part of a series. The other reason I'd like to play Magic properly is because there are only 7 recorded Great British Pro players, according to Wikipedia. Probably not the best link, but hey. And only one of those, Alan Coma, is represented in the Hall of Fame. So let's change that. You know, there's not that many British Magic YouTubers, or at least not that many big ones. The biggest one I can think of off the top of my head is Pleasant Kenobi, who I've met in real life. Shameless plug there. Um, um, but yeah, I want to represent Great Britain on that international stage, and myself and my deck building skills. Um, I know it's not going to be easy, but I think that trying to represent Great Britain on the TCG stage will definitely make up for my failed sports careers outside of actual proper sports. The how, though, how I get there, is a bit less simple. As you can see from what will be an expertly edited in picture, the next major standard event comes towards the end of March with the advent of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which gives me just over a month to suddenly become a decent Magic player. But then on this carefully edited screen that you'll see as well, you need to earn 20 play-in points or pay with some gold or gems to actually get into a qualifier. I'm going to be playing best of 3 standard event. That is, if I come to home, standard events, best of 3. And 750 gems, 5,000 gold. Well, we've got the gems. We've got the gems for at least 2 or 3 goes. But if you get 5 wins, you get a play-in qualifier token, which would be absolutely perfect. So, with that in mind, I think the format of these videos is going to be the series will be me taking one of these 4 deck choices, which were flashing on the screen before, but I'll show you again, and playing these events until one of them qualifies me or not, basically. There are other ways to qualify. The play-in tokens that I was talking about earlier on aforementioned screen, you can get them by finishing high up in the ladder. As you can see, I'm only in Platinum Tier 3. Hoping to get to Diamond again. I've never been to Mythic, so it would be lovely to get to Mythic. God, I've only got 27 common roll cards. So the decks themselves, my favourite is this mono blue one here. I think it has the best chance purely because it's probably the best thought out deck I have. Mono blue tempo is one of my favourite ways to play Magic, and I think it fits kind of nicely into the kind of meta at the moment, especially with the way that I've built it, because obviously I'm big brain. but it also may fail completely because it's me, and you can't answer everything in mono blue. But linked to not being able to answer everything in mono blue, the other three decks take simple shapes. Um, they are all based around a commander, if you will. They're not a commander, they're just a card I really like. And that's Azula, Samut, and Sokka. Now, as you can see, all different three-color decks, all of them offering something else. Azula, I think, will be the next strongest because it has a lot of combo potential, casting, copying spells, and things like that. Um, but when the dust settles, I guess it might not be that good because no one else on the pro scene has picked up Azula or Summit or Soccer and tried to make them decks. But hey, that's what I'm here for. Um, the Samut deck, I think, is the least likely because it's the newest of them. But as this, obviously, we will play them and hone them down as we go. I will, hopefully, it will have a firm place because it's aggro. So aggro always kind of does well, and I'm hoping that's the case here. Sokka is slightly different. He's my favourite character in Avatar: The Last Airbender, so it makes sense that I have a deck built around him that I try and qualify with. Um, I think he's such an open-ended deck, and it's this one is built artifacts-wise, as you will see. So there is lots to do with them. I think they're all viable, but I think also at the same time they might not be viable. Um, these decks, let's get to some rules of the series, shall we? So the rules are going to be these decks are only going to be played in best of three. No best of one shenanigans, just best of three. I will show real sideboarding and the real losses of this journey. I'm not sure how I'm going to edit the event play-ins, traditional play-ins, because they're going to be like 2 hours long probably if I go all the way. But we'll figure that out as we go. But these decks will not make it if they don't survive testing. I've already had a little bit of testing. Obviously, I wouldn't have built them and brought them to camera had I not already played them a few times, testing them. But the winner of these decks is whichever one actually gets me the token from the standard event, or the one that, as we slowly make our way up the lists, it's the one that gets me closer and the one I feel like fits more better. That's not a word, Harry. More nicely into the meta that we might be playing in. And I like all of these decks, so I'm hoping that all of them do well for me, but I doubt that. So now that I've kind of caught you all up on what's going to be going on and the rules and the decks, let's get to the next episode. I will present the first deck and I will play the event with it. If you want to see how they get along, please do stick around and find out which decks make the cut, and more importantly, do I make the cut? Am I good enough to go far enough in the MTG world? We'll find out. So, without further ado, thank you very much, and I'll leave you with a question. Which of these four decks would you start off with? As always, thank you very much for tuning in. If you like what you see, please feel free to drop me a like and subscribe. It helps out massively. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye.